This is the Skinny Bear Deep 2.5. It's a deep diving crankbait, but it's got a smaller body size than most deep diving crankbaits do, 2.5 inches long. So if you're trying to imitate some smaller bait fish that the bass are feeding on in those deep brush piles or rock piles or things like that, this is a great option. Big bass love to eat crankbaits, and it's often a really good pattern. But just chunking this thing is gonna be really easy with the weight transfer system. Getting it down there at the 12 to 15 foot mark is gonna be pretty easy. If you go down to about 10-pound test, this is what I'm fishing this on. You could fish it on 8 and maybe get a little bit more depth. But that's where this bait is gonna want to run. It's got extremely sharp hooks on it, so if you get a short strike or a fish that just barely grabs it, you're gonna get good hook penetration right there. And you can just see how small the body size is in comparison to that lip. It's got a nice arrowhead style lip to it, so it's gonna have good action when digging in the bottom. And I'm gonna throw this on a longer than usual rod. I'm gonna throw this on a 7/6 glass composite rod. So that's gonna really allow me to load up and make a long cast. That's key with deep diving crankbaits. You wanna get out there as long as you can to really get down in that target zone and leave it in that target zone. So long cast is key. That's why I go with a 7/6. And I go with either a 5 to 1 gear ratio reel up to a 6 to 1 gear ratio reel. That's really where I'm looking on these deep diving crankbaits, just to have maximum power when I'm cranking these things down there. And the key is, once you get it down there at that depth and you start feeling the cover, just take your time, go slow, and you want to let this bait hit the cover and deflect a little bit. So those little pauses when you deflect the cover will get those big bass to strike it, and you can really catch some big ones on these deep diving crankbaits.